And so I think for me lately was the shift in moments in Indiana, period, as far as like the arena where we started. And B was my vet, kind of, right? Kind of.
We up there, sis. We up there.
She was a Fever girl first. And so she also saw, and you know, she's a vet too. They've seen what Indiana was, and I think now where it's at now, the big moment is seeing the shift and being a part of it from a standpoint that I know where Indiana was. And so to see the cultivation of it, you just grow to appreciate the process and, you know, the growth in which the game is.
This time, Kelsey Mitchell wasn't having it. She responded, and it wasn't just a tepid PR statement. It was fierce, bold, and deeply personal. Mitchell stood strong not just for Caitlin Clark, but for every player on the Fever's roster who has been pulled into this media circus.
How the question was phrased, Lord Jesus, your fans, once again pushing the narrative that there's something wrong with Indiana Fever fans. I don't like that has become the accepted belief about the Fever fans. But Kelsey Mitchell is a professional, and before long, well, she's going to kind of put them in their place.
She didn't have to comment on Caitlin Clark, but she chose to, and that speaks volumes about her leadership, the way she articulated her thoughts, firm, unapologetic, and backed by facts, sent shockwaves throughout the discussion. You could see the impact on Cha's expression. What began as lighthearted banter evolved into a masterclass in media strategy.
Yeah, jealous, sure. I mean, would you be jealous of somebody that got $28 million a shoe deal or whatever the deal is before you step foot in the pros?
Popularity is exaggerated, or that she hasn't yet proven herself. However, Kelsey was unyielding. She entered that studio with a clear message for everyone. The significance of Caitlin Clark in women's basketball cannot be dismissed, and her influence is reshaping the sport in a powerful way.
Women that get this, I'm tired of it. Like, here's my thing, you guys. What else? Who are these girls? Who are these girls that are hating on Caitlin Clark? Are you just combing through Twitter? Stop acting like because you see some randos on Twitter knocking Caitlin Clark, all girls are against.
Can give or drop any form of advice based off experiences that all money is not good money. And I mean that literally. I've seen myself in situations where I had to figure out if I wanted to come back to Indy. I had to figure out what was best for me. I lost my parent. So it was like figuring out what I needed, and I figured out that you have to go where you're literally loved. And I mean that literally, and I mean that intentionally. Go where you're loved and not tolerated, because all money is not good money.
Finally happened, someone in the Indiana Fever locker room reached their breaking point. Kelsey Mitchell, one of the team's most respected and long-standing members, decided to call out the nonsense. The catalyst? Chine Ogwumike's latest comments, which were perceived as unwarranted jabs at Caitlin Clark.
I'm a Fever girl again. I'm a Fever girl. I'm excited. Kind of missed this court. Yeah, I'm a Fever girl again. A lot went into this decision based on what I needed for myself and for, obviously, for my family, my friends. And Indy is a second home, so I thought I'd give this thing a go.
Essential for people to connect the dots. This revival didn't occur in isolation. It was meticulously built, brick by players like Mitchell, who endured the challenges and remained committed when it would have been easy to step away. Regarding the Indiana Fever and their dedicated fan base came off as condescending and unwarranted. She made jokes, tossed off side comments, and cast shade at the passionate Fever supporters, treating them as a bothersome distraction rather than acknowledging their vital role in the league's burgeoning popularity.
Big performances have become a staple of hers. Mitchell owns the top 3 highest scoring performances in Fever history. Mitchell ranks second all-time in franchise history in career points, field goals made, three-pointers made, and free throws. She's played in the 3rd most games in franchise history and is 4th all-time in career assists.
About the explosion, somehow she didn't expect Kelsey to acknowledge the CC effect, the Caitlin Clark effect, especially after she started off by trying to be disrespectful, by being disrespectful to the Fever team and the fans. But Kelsey Mitchell kept it real, and I could sense that it was awkward. It was an awkward moment for her because it was sort of like, Caitlin, like...
Began when Cha Ogum delivered one of her signature half-hearted zingers during a media segment. She threw out a line dripping with condescension. Lord Jesus, your team and their fans sure love to get into everyone else's business. This type of comment might seem lighthearted on the surface, but it was clearly designed to provoke Fever fans and, more pointedly, to diminish Caitlin Clark's significant impact in the league. Had the opportunity to respond, she was assertive yet composed. You could sense the intensity in her tone without her raising her voice or insulting anyone. She simply spoke the truth, and it resonated powerfully with supporters. And Caitlin Clark isn't a mere sideshow. She's a phenomenon that the league desperately needs, not less of. So the next time a legacy media figure rolls their eyes at the Fever or disparages the fans, remember this. Kelsey Mitchell is watching, and she's unafraid to stand up for what's right.
There's the face. There's the face again. Okay? Now, let me get closer so you can see my face better. There's the face again. She's asking about the explosion of women's basketball, and Kelsey Mitchell doesn't waste any time to mention Caitlin Clark and what she has created. It's not what Janae wants to hear. It's not what the media, ESPN media, the WNBA, the old guard, it's not what they want to hear, because they're continuing to tell us that it's not Caitlin Clark who has created anything in.
Caitlin Clark has infused the team with unparalleled energy and brought significant national attention. Instead of celebrating this growth, Cha chose to frame it as a bothersome issue. Her remarks implied that Indiana and its passionate supporters are excessively loud, bold, and not preferred by the league. Certainly don't disrespect the Indiana Fever family or their devoted fans. This moment is not just going viral, it's doing so for all the right reasons, highlighting the unity and strength within the Fever organization and defending the integrity of its players. I hesitate to acknowledge Caitlin's impact because it would mean admitting that a rookie has become the biggest name in the WNBA.
Mitchell finished top 10 in the league in scoring in 2020, 2021, again in 2022, for a fourth straight time in 2023, and you guessed it, top 10 in scoring in the 2024.
New chapter is not just thrilling for her, it's deeply personal. Now supported by a younger core, including Caitlin Clark, Lexi Hall, and Aaliyah Boston, it's Kelsey's leadership that provides the stability this team needs, guiding them as they continue to grow and develop together. Despite the undeniable rise of the sport, Kelsey uttered Caitlin's name, you could practically see Chiny flinch. Her polished media smile faltered slightly. The truth is that people like Chiny, along with well-known media figures such as Elle Duncan, Monica McNutt, and Cheryl Swoops, have been skillfully avoiding giving Clark the credit she deserves. You know the type, starting with her signature sly sarcasm, making comments that seem like jokes but carry a sharper edge beneath the surface.
I've seen both sides of it. For one, like being on a team with like Caitlin and knowing that some of the stuff and the wave that she created for like, as you know, where the game is and what she's been a part of, like as far as this process.
That Wheeler extra feed. Oh, that was pretty. Plus the foul.
With you, Kelsey, and then going to B and NECA, how have you guys experienced? Is there like a moment that you like think of when it comes to the explosion of the game and how it has changed the game?
Sensation, Mitchell has been the consistent force for 7 seasons, demonstrating reliability without the need for flash or theatrics. Her commitment to excellence and belief in her team remain unwavering,